Hello, church. Hope everybody's doing well today. Wanted to take a couple minutes and share some things and thoughts with you. Um, I decided to take Chris Metter's advice that he gave us last week, and I just took my Bible on my little electronic Bible here, and I just spun the wheel, and it landed in Colossians 3, and I started reading. And these are the first two verses that I read. Since then, you have been raised with Christ. Set your hearts on things above, where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things, for you died, and your life is now hidden with Christ in God. I don't know about you, but I find myself sometimes thinking like a fish. You ever think like a fish? Do you know how a fish thinks? I've done a lot of fishing in my days, and I grew up on a place where at the end of the front yard there was a pond. Pretty good sized pond, acre and a half, 2 acres. And if you don't believe me, you can check with Luke Harrison. He's fished on this pond. And in that pond, there's a bunch of fish. And we've kept fish in it, and caught fish out of it, eaten fish, and planted fish, and all kinds of things in that pond. But every one of those fish in that pond has no idea that there's a yard just outside the pond, and that there's a house on the other side of the yard, and that there's a driveway that goes back to the county road, and that at the end of that county road there's a highway, and you can follow that highway one direction and go to one town, and another direction and go to another town. Those fish have no idea. Their entire world is in that pond. They don't see anything outside of the pond. Sometimes I get to thinking like a fish, that my world is just this little spot that I live in, my comfortable little room here, in my house, in my yard, and I don't see beyond that. I'm thinking like a fish in a pond. But these verses encourage us to look beyond our pond. Because as children of God, saved and raised up by Christ, we can have a bigger vision. There are things way beyond our imagination in store for us. There are things that we can't even dream of that God has planned for us. But yet sometimes I get stuck in my pond thinking like a fish. I would encourage you, stick your head up out of the water, look around, see the glory that God has planned for us. Read and study and see the promises and the things that He has done for His people and for those that love Him. And maybe then we can set our hearts on things above. Maybe then we can set our minds on things greater than just our pond. God bless you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.